Hi, my name is Lorenzo. I'm the head of SEM at R17 Ventures. Today I'm going to talk about the search trends of 2022 for Google Ads. We've got about 4 points to talk about today. The first one I'm going to talk about is audiences and keywords fading. What this essentially means is in 2022, I think we're going to see more of an audience-first mindset. Search is moving. We've got our broader keywords being recommended to go broader, the changing in match types, which are just happening so frequently, and I think will continue to do so. Really just shows that we're moving towards audience-centric first search. We're going to pretty much look at audience insights. We see this even with the Performance Max, with the audience signals. We see this with feed-based rules where you can actually adjust your ad copy to specific audiences. So I think a major trend is going to be keywords to some extent fading away and audience-first focus, where we will bid on specific audiences that we see are successful, and that will be a great way to target new users as well as actually get users into the top of funnel, whereas before historically search was always quite intent driven, which it will continue to be, but we'll see search more and more with the broader terms, and the audiences become a tool to get new users into the top of funnel. The second point I would like to talk about is first-party data. I think as 2022 comes and the future, we're just going to see more and more increases in privacy, reduction in cookies, which we've already seen even last year. And this will become increasingly important that we have our first-party data in the platform. In the case of Google Ads, this will mean having your customer list, your email subscribers, and what that essentially does is just helps the machine learning algorithm to have data on who your typical customer is. This can also help with bottom of funnel retargeting campaigns, which we have a lot of success with. But it's just really important that we have that data in the system, and most importantly, keep it up to date. We see accounts where there is a customer list, but maybe it hasn't been updated in 6 months. And with new customers coming in frequently, it's obviously important to keep those up to date. The third point I want to talk about is just visual ads being on the rise. We see last year we got image extensions, which we've had a lot of success with, which is now bringing a visual element into search. And I think in 2022, we'll see these image extensions coming out of beta. We'll see even more visual aspects coming into search. And of course, with the Performance Max and other campaigns and YouTube, which is now almost becoming like TV ads with more and more people using their YouTube on their smart TVs, I think in general, a visual approach on Google is going to evolve more and more this year. Another one that's frequently talked about, but I think will continue to be important, is automation. And alongside automation, I'm going to talk a bit on how I think testing will go in 2022. We're seeing more and more voice search, and I think the way people search on voice, they tend to have longer tail terms. It's going to be really important to trust in the automation there to find those search terms. And going back to the first point, also trusting in the audiences you target more so than the exact keywords. So voice search is going to be a big one. I think we have a general trend towards more AI and automation in the bid strategies. We're getting a little bit less control, but I think these automations and AIs are advancing more and more and will continue to do so, and we need to trust more in automation and work alongside it rather than fight against it, as it is inevitably the future that automation is becoming more and more prevalent. Again, we saw that with the Performance Max, with one campaign covering all segments and being more automated. It's just really important that we take a look at these and we grow with them, rather than get left behind against those who are using such tools. Changes in how we test, I think we're going to see, we've seen expanded text ads eradicated. It's really going to be about testing new concepts in the ads, aligning to specific intents of searches, as opposed to testing different ads how we did before. Of course, we can pin headlines, we can test new headlines in the ads, in our responsive search ads, which are the new normal. But I think there's going to be a big shift in how we test and more reliance in search on automation. With the responsive search ads, it just means more and more automation is taking over. To sum up, we're going to basically just be ready for anything. I think Google is an ever-changing landscape, and we need to be ready to take on anything that it brings towards us and adapt rapidly to those changes, which is something we very much do at R17.